Today's video is going to be about you cannot buy your way to a buck. Deer season is upon us. Oh, I know it's not even the end of August. But if you wait right up until December, December, that's muzzle loading. If you wait right up until just before deer season, then you're mucking up your hunt before you've even started. So anyways, that's why we get started on deer season. That's what we want to talk about today. Deer season. Tricking a buck's nose. Tricking a buck's nose. Well, good morning. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Back down at the shop today, working on the new heated hunt shack. Deer season is upon us. Oh, I know it's not even the end of August. But if you wait right up until December, December, that's muzzle loading. If you wait right up until just before deer season, then you're mucking up your hunt before you've even started. So anyways, that's why we get started on deer season. That's what we want to talk about today. Deer season. Tricking a buck's nose. Tricking a buck's nose. The title of this video is going to be, you cannot buy your way to a buck. And what do I mean by that? I mean all of the trinkets and toys and ointments and all that stuff that the modern hunter just has switched over to in my lifetime. You know, so that's the stuff we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how come I have so many tree stands. How come I use so many tree stands, all that stuff. So anyways, that's where we're going today with this video. Especially here in the state of Maine, if you want to come up here and hunt. You can leave all your toys and all your gadgets and all that stuff at home. It's not going to work for you up here. Our bucks have noses and they know how to use them. And normally we're in big patches of woods. So, you know, I don't pack a lot of that crap that if you go to the hunting store and you see all the stuff they want to sell you. And then, I mean, when I was a kid, there wasn't anything. You know, you might have been able to get yourself a bleat call, or you might have been able to get yourself, I don't know if they had all that back then or not. Like Tink 69, stuff like that. I know they've always had a little bit of dough smell, all that kind of stuff. But let's talk about tree stands, wind, and all of that. Tricking a buck's nose today. I am a firm believer that I don't care how much money you spend on it, cover scents, all of that stuff to go hunting. It's not going to work. You're not going to trick a buck's nose by a little bit of spray that you put on yourself. Think about it. You know, think about what you're hunting. He's had a lifetime, and he's had hundreds of years to figure out the different smells of a human being. So let's work with his nose instead of against it. That's, you know, think about that. Let's work with his nose instead of against it. One of the things that he is accustomed to, wood smoke from a chimney. You know, especially up around the cabins where we go, we have a wood stove that runs all night long. So he's there. That wood smoke is coming out of the chimney at 5 o'clock in the morning. So they're accustomed to that smell. And if you go back in the older days of hunting, where all the camps had wood stoves, all the hunters, you take a hunting coat and smell it, it's going to smell like smoke. It's going to smell like smoke coming out of your chimney. That's not a bad thing. I see now a lot of people hang their clothes outdoors and to get all their household odors out and all of that. I agree with that to a degree, just to get rid of some of them odd smells. But even still, smell is, and I see it in my comments, I see it in other people's comments when I watch their videos. The only surefire way to deal with smells is to work with the wind. Period. They've been saying that for 200 years. Work with the wind, work with the wind, work with the wind. and under no circumstance do you work against the wind. I don't care how good of a stand you have. If that wind is in the wrong direction, don't sit in it. Plain and simple. I don't care how many buddies you've got. I don't care how many videos you watched. I don't care any of that stuff. Do not sit in a stand that the wind is blowing in the wrong direction. Not for 5 minutes, not for anything. Wait, sit in it when it's got a good wind. Getting back to why do I put in so many tree stands? I put in so many tree stands so I can work with the wind. My cabin up north, right around the cabin is I don't have to go far. This mindset that you gotta go 5 miles back in the woods to get a deer, it's a myth. That's a myth. Can you get one back in the woods 5 miles? Of course you can. Do you have to go back there? Of course you don't. Up at my cabin, I have 3 tree stands immediately around the cabin. One's on the east side, one's on the west side, one's on the north side. That's 3 different directions that I can, all 4, because if the wind is out of the south, and any one of those, well, anything up at that cabin, if it's out of the south, even with 3 tree stands in, it's not a good place. So what I can do in that case is I can go down and hug the lake a little tighter, and that way if something's coming across the southern exposure wind, then I will at least get them either coming in from the east or coming in from the west. Backwards, I'm thinking in my head. I'll either get them coming in from the west or coming in from the east. Either way, by the time they get to my scent, I'll probably have a shot. And what I have down there is I have a ground blind. It's nothing. It's a sawed off piece of firewood, about yay big around, that I brought down with a sled, and I've got it tucked in behind some cedar trees. So I can poke my gun through the cedar trees, around the cedar trees. I'm setting in a little pocket, that's it. But at any rate, I am working with the wind. That's the whole point in this video. Is you can go in there and think about it. If I go to camp for, any of us, if we go to camp for a week, at the end of the week, and you haven't showered all week, what do you think you smell like? Well, if you go back in the old days, hunting, back when our grandfathers were hunting, there wasn't any heated showers and all that stuff at camp. Camp was just like my camps. If you look at my rustic log cabin, it's only a camp. It has running water to the sink with a hand pump well. There's no shower out back. I got a shower, but you would never use it in November. My shower out back is a shower head on a post, on a 4x4 post on the back deck. You run it with a battery, you heat your water on the stove. I got a little water pump, you stick in a 5-gallon bucket, and I can take my shower that way. The reason I put that shower in, number 1, is that's when I was working up there building cabins, but 2 was my bear season. Bear season up there when I was for shooting bears is September, so that's a warm time of the year, and I could take a nice shower before I went out and sat in my tree stand. Doesn't mean I was trying to cover up any scent. I was just trying to get some scent off. Same deal there. I mean, you got to work with the wind, with the bears as much as you do with the deer. Same deal. Don't sit in a tree stand if the wind is wrong. How do I know if the wind is wrong outside of my cabin? look in my videos, especially in November, you will see a 2-foot piece of orange survey tape hanging from a tree. That thing will blow with any kind of wind at all. It'll either be setting straight down, no wind at all, or it'll be straight out like a flag blowing off the Atlantic Ocean here in the state of Maine. It'll be right out straight. Or blowed over. Might be the flagpole blowed over. But the only way to trick a deer's nose is with that wind. I can't push that enough. And that's where we fall back on this. You can't buy your way into a buck. I don't, that's you young people getting into this. Get out of that mindset. Get back into the mindset where everything you need's out in the woods. Think about it. If you do want to cover your scent a little bit, when you get into the woods, find yourself a cedar tree. Take that cedar off, rub it. You'll get not the limbs, the leaves, the kind of a leafy thing. You peel that thing off. You rub it in your hands and you smell it. And all you can smell is cedar. Now you can take that cedar and you can rub it over your clothes. Rub it all over your clothes if you want to. The other thing you can do to help cover up your scent is get down to the dirt. The dog was down here with me yesterday and she was digging a hole. I was in the shop sitting in a chair and I couldn't see the dog, but I could smell what the dog was doing. And the dog was digging a hole. And you can smell that fresh, earthy smell. Now you can go to the store and you can buy a jug for what, $30? That earthy smell. And that's exactly what it smells like. Just like what that dog was doing. So you can do the same thing. You can come out here and you can kick your boots in that earthy smell. Kick some grass over. Get down to the topsoil and get that topsoil all over your boots. If, in my case, I'm walking out to the tree stand, there's places that I got to walk in the mud and walk in water because I'm in a swamp. I get out there and tromp around in it. I get out there and make sure I got rubber boots on that go clear to my knees because that's the kind of walk that it is out to the tree stand. I get in that water and I tromp around in it while I'm walking out to the tree stand. More ways to cover your scent without going to the store and buying some man-made spray that's in a bottle. Same thing with your dough stuff. Now I do enjoy using Tinks 69. I've shot some deer with it, so I do believe in it. Unless they were just dumb ones that wandered through, but I've seen too much with the Tinks 69 to not think that works. But doesn't mean that my hunt is over. But it only works when the temperatures aren't cold. Problem here in Maine is about midway through the season is things freeze up and that Tink 69 freezes up solid. So I really don't give it much hope after that. But the first 2 weeks in November, yeah, I'll put out some Tink 69. But everything has to do with the wind. You young guys getting into this, get out of that store-bought habit and go find yourself some of these old traditional skills and these old traditional ways that are just plain dirt cheap. And watch your thermometer. You know, watch your thermometer, watch your highs and your lows. If you know that there's going to be a drastic change in temperature, good time to get out there. Or if you know that it's we've been in a rainy spell for 2 or 3 days, and you know it's going to stop raining at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Good time to get out there. So that's going to be, we'll move into some of that stuff in more videos down the road. As I go along with this build, my mind is switching over to deer season and the different stuff coming up, and that's one of the topics that kind of lit me on fire before making this video, is tricking a buck's nose and why do I make so many tree stands. Like I said in an early video this week, Beaver Creek over there, this will be the 4th tree stand that goes into Beaver Creek on top of different ground blinds that I have in the area. I usually save the ground blinds for other people's property, and that way I don't have to get into the laws of putting out a tree stand, removing a tree stand, getting permission for the tree stand, labeling the tree stand. All my tree stands are on my own property, so that eliminates a whole lot of laws. But that's why I have so many tree stands, and they don't have to be far apart. They just have to be where the wind direction changes. Like where this new stand is going, it's halfway between two of them on my property. But it could be all the difference in the world depending on that wind. So that's going to wrap this one up. Hopefully this will help you if you're new to hunting or getting into hunting. You're a young fella getting into hunting. Some of these old-time traditional skills that Grandpa used to use are free. free. And work a lot better than some of this store-bought stuff that ends up in people's packs. So, hey, you guys have a great week, and I will see you next week.